Hey, what goes on, people? It's P.O.W. the producer
P.O.W.
with the GEEKS Music Group, TV. So today we're going to talk about the Combinator and its many uses. Let's get it. Okay, so here we are inside of Reason, and we're looking at the very top portion of my template right underneath the master section. And basically what you see is three separate things. You see a stereo to mono combinator, you see a sidechain combinator, and then you see a reference, key reference combinator, and actually that's empty. Okay, so the very first combinator that you're looking at is stereo, flip, and mono. So this is actually built in to Reason, and if you like mixing in mono to kind of bring sounds out and that kind of thing sometimes, this is a good tool that once again is already built inside. If you're interested in doing the whole mono thing, hit that button. Done. How you actually get to this is you go over to the browser, you go to where all the factory sets or patches are, go to the combinator, just type in mono under search, and then when you go down, you'll see stereo, flip, and mono. Another thing that this is good for would be the left and right flip. And once again, you hit that button, it's a done deal. Okay, so the second thing is a sidechain. And I'm going to open this and show you that it's a multiple sidechain. So if I open all these things up here, and then flip the rack around, you see that basically this goes inside of the distributor, or to the distributor, to the merger splitter, and then all of these just kind of connect together to kind of link together. And you can also see that nothing is actually connected here. So I know you're thinking, well, how is it working? How can you sidechain with something that's not connected? Well, when you drop this right below the master, and I believe it's shift, and then you drop the combinator on and it just doesn't hook up, that it's there. One of the main reasons why I'm even bringing up this whole sidechain thing is because once again I'll flip this over and you see how many outputs you have. So you see how many things you can actually connect to this. This is a good way if you're doing like EDM. If you're doing like trap and that kind of thing, 9 times out of 10 you're not going to have to hook up a whole bunch of stuff. But if you're messing with something that's a little bit more intricate, you might want to use this and just have it inside of your template. Okay, so now we're going to go down to actually show you how this works and to hook it up. So now that we're down to the Spins 808, we're going to tab to look at the back. We're going to go here, and then we're going to go to where the sidechain combinator is. We'll go to that first spider audio. Boom, you do that. And if, as you can see, the key light actually lit up. And now we're actually looking at the mixer where the spins is. And once again, if you notice, the key light is on. So if I hit this, and if something was actually playing, which I'm not going to do, I'm just trying to show you this. But if something was actually playing, you would actually be sidechaining right now. Another thing about this sidechain setup that you have to do is you have to put something, I just put like a regular kick inside of here. It's not going to sound off or anything, but you just kind of need something in order to actually make it register. You need some type of sound in there to make it register. Again, it's not going to sound off because it's not even hooked up, but you need something to make it register. If you're interested in how this old school trick is rigged up, I can either do a video or I might even put one in the description because this wasn't my idea. I got this from like a long time ago, but just always thought it was a dope little setup. Okay, so this next one basically is exactly what it's listed as, just a key reference. So what I do with this is I'll import MIDI, and basically it's just if I'm not familiar with the scale of a certain key, if I don't play in that key a lot, I'll bring the MIDI in uh, the scale so that I can utilize the ghost notes to make the beat. And there's nothing in there, but it still shows up, um, and I can kind of show you what I mean. Okay, so now that we're here, this is that reference, the key reference thing. If I was to just go here to edit, I'm sorry, file, and import uh, MIDI file, I can import, I have a folder basically of MIDI for pretty much every key there is. Um, Next up, if you notice, I always have my 808s kind of set up the same way, and then I have different backdrops for them. Um, I do this because there's different 808s that I use, and then inside of the combinator, you can use different effects. Sometimes I might want to use Camel Crusher. Sometimes I might want to use the Saucy Distortion. Sometimes I might want to use the Scream. Sometimes I might want to use, doesn't matter. Whatever you want to use, you can actually have that set up and go up to File and then Save Combinator Patch As, and then you can actually have that and save that, and it could be forever there for you. And whenever you want it, you just literally drag that inside, and you're good. Okay, so another thing that you can use combinators for would be just different effects. This particular one, I've just kind of previewed in another video earlier, but this isn't my idea. This was from MG the Future, but he made like this little lo-fi combinator, and I use this thing to death. Um, he added a couple more things. This one I kind of took some of the stuff away because it's just one of the lo-fi joints that I use. But you can basically how he makes the wobble is he takes away the echo. He takes away everything except for the wobble on the echo. It's kind of dope. I still kind of use a little bit of it of the delay. Um, he uses the vinyl, and then of course he messed with the screen. And just depends on whatever you like in regards to the screen. But the point being made is that you can create, and I've created a ton of things like these, but I use this one a lot because that whole lo-fi thing is actually the way right now. Let's just drag a combinator in here. And what I like to do is I like to use the 14:2 mixer. And let's just bring some basic instruments in here, like nothing major, just basic stuff. And I'm not even going to go to any presets or anything. I'm just going to go to this basic thing, the initial patches, I guess I should say. Um, so right now, if we kind of listen to this, turn on my keyboard. That's without me doing anything to it, not even EQing it. But let's do that real quick, and let me turn this down. My apologies. But okay. So I like going over here, going straight to whatever effects I want to go to. So let's just put some wear and tear on it real quick. Make it real old. And since this is number one, you would just go to one. And the thing that I like about this is you can add as much or take away as much as you want for each individual sound. Dope. And I'm not even doing anything yet. This Combinator to me is just so powerful, and people, it's to me one of the most underutilized things that we have inside of Reason. It's limitless what you can do with a Combinator. The Combinator is dope, and I'm just scratching the surface, but just know that this is really a dope device. Once again, thanks for watching. Peace.